All right, Hubhead's got a special one for you right now. Another member of the Hub community, Blue Collar Customs Garage. Scott, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Now, this truck that we're standing in front of is kind of a famous truck. It's owned by James Hetfield of Metallica, and you were one of the guys that helped build it.
Yes, I did. We did all the work, all the metal work, did the chassis, built it all from scratch pretty much.
And you guys are based up in Sacramento, is that right?
Yeah, Sacramento, California.
Now, what shape was this truck in when you got it? How long did it take you to build it? Tell us some of the specs.
We got it was about a little bit over 2 years ago. It started out, it was kind of a rough truck that somebody built in their garage, had a flatbed on it, had some grandpa hubcaps. It was really bad. And we kind of went through and redid everything, straightened up the cab, got it back together, chopped it, made it into a big window, did the 57 Rancho, tailgate, quarters, all the fabrication on that, all the metal work. And
that's really what you guys special in, is the metal work, right?
Yeah, anything metal, that's what we're into. You know, chopping it up, adding extra stuff and making it cooler.
Now, how did James find you guys? Those guys are from Northern California, right?
Yeah, he's up in Marin. We did a car 3 or 4 years ago that was in San Francisco. That was a Model A sedan, and he was into it, and we just started talking, and we did a Model A sedan, a 36, and now the truck for him.
How long did it take you guys to build?
A little bit over 2 years. It's just kind of like finished up for this show.
And can you tell us about some of the features that are on the truck that we might not be able to see?
Well, it's got a 455 Olds motor that was built by Rex Hutchinson Racing Engines in Sacramento. I mean, it was built to be a driver. It's got a Turbo 400 with a gear vendor's overdrive in it. So he's just going to get it and cruise it. It's airbagged, obviously, and it's got all the creature comforts, and it just should be a cool cruiser when it's all said and done.
So he hasn't taken delivery on the car yet?
No. He's actually rode in it a little bit, but he hasn't even driven in it yet. So it's really exciting. He's really excited about it.
So does that mean you guys just finished it up for this show?
Yeah, the upholstery just got finished probably 3 or 4 days before we came up here.
Wow, so it was a little bit of a crunch getting down to the wire.
Yeah, it's always a crunch.
Always a crunch indeed. What are some of the other projects you guys are working on at Blue Collar Customs?
Well, we're actually redoing his 36 5-window right now, doing all the metal work on it, and that thing we're going to try to have at the Santa Maria show all in metal. So that thing's pretty cool. It's on the ground, shot 5 inches, changed the opening on the trunk lid because they're kind of a square-shaped stock, and made it match the belt line in the back a little bit better, and it just flows a lot better now.
How much is James part of the process as far as designing and executing the build?
He's a large part, actually. He's really, really into cars. I mean, it's like a passion for him, and he's an artist, so like that kind of stuff. He thinks of a lot of the ideas that we do, and then I just kind of run with them, and then we let it kind of evolve, and see where it goes.
He's pretty much your ideal customer because he's artistic, he's involved in the process, and more importantly, he's got plenty of dough.
That's true, and he's just super cool to work for. I mean, he's just really a good dude to work for. He's into it. Who came up with the color? That was him. It was his color, and then we did some spray outs and picked from like 5 or 6 different purples, and this is what we came up with.
And speaking of which, we have the painter of the car right here. Jason, why don't you come on and step on in here? Good to see you, man. How you doing? Beautiful truck.
Thank you, sir.
Tell us about the process of painting it. It looks like you got a couple different tones going.
Yeah, we started off with a couple purples Scott came up with and James came up with. Started off with something that was looked similar to a Plum Crazy. Then when we just kind of smoothed it out, and then we came up with a couple darker purples. Some that flip to red, some that flip to blue, some that have different casts and whatnot. That's pretty, he just came out and picked that one and that one. Pretty simple. Then he wanted the flake roof. That one was like a little tougher. Well, it was tougher, and it was kind of like it worked, It was I don't want to say it was a trial and error, but it was
happy accident.
Happy accident, yeah. Controlled,
Well, I can imagine we're inside right now, and it's pretty impressive. This color, it must pop when it gets outside.
Yeah, you drive around and the flake dances like crazy. It's awesome. I really enjoy it.
That's cool, man. Now, what are some of your favorite touches on the truck?
Oh man, I love the tail end of the truck. How the fins and the 57 T-Bird taillights fit, everything just blends real well. My favorite part about this truck is no part outshines the rest of it. Everything blends real well. my paint doesn't over accentuate what the metalwork was done. The metalwork is not so overly crazy like a lot of customs do. A lot of people when they chop a truck, they go over chop or they they just do too much. This is, I think the execution was perfect. It doesn't have great big wheels. Everything matches.
Really, you're right. It's not. There's no like glaring mistakes that you might see on other projects where a lot of it is cool, and then you're like, oh, maybe they shouldn't have done that. Now, I noticed also there's some really, really well done pinstriping on here. Did you do the striping?
Yes.
It must have been difficult to do because there's a lot of pretty radical angles between the paint.
Yes. It's a lot of late hours and a lot of fun.
Now, how did you come up with striping it in white? It really makes the tones pop.
There's actually two colors. There's a white and a black.
Oh yeah, you can see it when you get real close to it. You can see that there's a white stripe, and you really can't see the black stripe until you really look at it. But you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, that really stands out.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, a lot of crossing my eyes, and a lot of wiping it off and redoing it. But we had a lot of fun. It's
cool, man. Well, congratulations. This is a really big achievement. Jason, Scott,
yeah.
Jason Haskins Garage.
Jason Haskins Garage, and that's
Blue Collar Customs.
Blue Collar Customs Garage. And of course, how can we find you off of the hub? Do you have a website?
BlueCollarCustoms.net, coming soon.
TBD. And Jason, any website for you personally?
HaskinPaintAndBody.com.
You got it. And of course, the easiest way to find them is on the hub, the coolest car community on the net.
This is Scott from Blue Collar Customs, and you're watching The Hub.
Hi, this is Jason Haskin, and you're watching The Hub.